We good?
You're live.
Oh, cool. All right. Hello, everybody. I'm back, your host, Jason Thibodeau with the Mortgage Lounge, and I'm super excited today. I have somebody who's very important to me on and beyond just business. She's sort of a second mom.
Yeah.
I grew up with her son, Wes. Hi, Wes. Shout out. And, we've been meaning to do this for a while.
Right.
And I'm just so grateful you're making the time for us because I know you have a lot of value to bring to the table.
Well, thanks for having
Now,
me.
Diane Kutinsky here. Hello. With Compass Real Estate. And Diane is so much more than just your ordinary real estate agent. She brings so much more to the table. And that's what we're going to talk about today is like, what does that actually tangibly mean? And maybe share some real life examples and stories of how you've really made a difference. Because I think that folks maybe oversimplify what it means to sell your home, right? Sometimes agents are anxious to just get the listing, put a sign out front, get it on the MLS, and they've sort of done their part, so to speak. But if you're hiring a true professional, there is a real difference, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Diane, welcome.
Thank you.
How are you?
Great.
Good.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So where do you want to start? Do you want to just dive right into that, or do you want to talk about you and Chrissy and how you guys got connected?
Let's talk about Chrissy and I.
Yeah.
Chrissy and I met. I had her do an open house for me one day, and I just was very impressed with her.
Oh, yeah.
And she was, I think, impressed with me as well.
Mm-hmm.
We just clicked, and we both have really the same work ethic.
Yeah.
And we are 100% for our clients all the time. 100%. We give 100%. We work 7 days a week and 7 nights a week, it feels like.
Yeah.
Our only problem is we have to learn how to take breaks.
Yes. Well, in real estate, that is the issue, right? Is figuring out boundaries. I just had my therapist on last week for an interview, and we were talking about that very thing, boundaries. But it is hard because real estate is a 24/7 business, especially when it comes to like offers that need to be made and negotiations that need to take place in order for this buyer or seller to get what they need to get, right?
Oh, yes. And yesterday Chrissy was writing offers at 10:05 in the evening last night,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm up signing. So
yeah.
So we work really hard for our clients.
Yeah. And that's what does make the difference though sometimes.
Yeah, we work 7 days a week. We've done very well for the time that we've been in, partners. So, and we're having a good time.
Yeah.
And our clients, we love our clients. They love us so far.
Yeah. I was blown away by Chrissy on one of the transactions, was able to negotiate like a $50,000 credit from the seller. And she was ready to walk away. Mm-hmm. And it was really impressive, right? Because she didn't get into the emotional aspect. She stayed very calm, cool, and collected, and her willingness to walk away was what got the seller to step up to the plate and get her what she wanted. That's the intangible piece that people are maybe unaware of that really does matter.
Oh, it does. We're there for our clients.
Yeah.
She can be a tough cookie.
Yeah.
And when she has to be for our clients, that's just the way it works. So.
Yeah. You can't be too kind in real estate. There needs to be some sort of assertiveness in order to get, to the other side.
We're nice. We handle it very nicely,
totally.
but we're pretty firm, on what works for our clients, because the client is number one.
Yeah. There's a difference between confidence and arrogance, right? What you guys bring to the table is professionalism and confidence.
Right. We're straight shooters.
Yeah. Well, shout out to Chrissy. Hello.
Hi, Chrissy.
So you also have a background of design. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes. I went to design school and I designed celebrity homes, sports arenas, but I really fell in love with
incredible. Sports arenas too. Yeah. That's so cool.
I couldn't exactly do sports arenas and fly around the country with 4 kids. So I just started doing, a few celebrity homes and I really liked it. But what I really was passionate about is people calling me to find out like what they should do to get their house on the market before they sell it, whether they're going to sell it next year or this year or whatever. I would go over there and help them, get the house on the market for a reasonable, price. Because you don't want to spend $200,000 and only get $200,000 out.
Right, exactly.
Extra. There's no point of it.
Yeah, what's the point of that?
So what Chrissy and I do is basically spend half that money and try and get double your money. So if we put $40,000 into a house, we expect to get $100,000 back out of that equity, which is great for the client.
Yeah. And while that sounds very simple, it's probably a lot more challenging and complicated behind the scenes to make sure you're doing that in the right way, right? What to spend money on, right? In order to maximize the benefit, because that is a good point. Spending $200,000 to get $200,000 in extra value is, well, what's the point of that other than making your neighbors happy with the comp?
Exactly. Well, we're experts at it.
Yeah.
We're basically flipping the houses for our clients. So we know the contractors. I have a design eye, and I just design the house. And Chrissy and I run the contractors. We get multiple bids.
Yeah.
We're on top of the contractors. Basically,
That's huge, by the way, isn't it?
Yeah. We get the contractors. We run those contractors.
Well, there's so many horror stories around contractors and poor homeowners that have no idea, don't have a track record with working with the people that they hire, and then it goes poorly, right? Mm-hmm. And they're not really sure what they're doing, because it's not out of ignorance. It's just that they have a day job, they have a career. This is not what they do every day.
That's right.
So having somebody who does do this every day really makes a difference.
Right. And we make sure that, it's all done correctly, and it's so far so good.
Yeah.
I should say.
Yeah.
But no, we basically run the job for the client. They don't have to do anything.
Yeah. It's huge.
Yeah, it is huge for them, and they like it because they are not stressed. We're both very organized.
Yeah.
I can tell you we're starting one today. I know what time everybody's showing up. I know how long it's going to take each phase of the house. So far we've been pretty much on track.
Let's talk about an example.
Okay.
You had brought one up recently that really piqued my curiosity. I think you know which one I'm referring to. Can we talk about that one a little bit?
Yeah, that's the one we're starting today. So this is an older lady, and she's basically cash poor. Okay, her husband.
So house rich, cash poor.
Yeah, she has plenty of equity,
which is very common.
Oh yeah, it's not even just with seniors, with a lot of people.
Sure.
So Chris and I went to her house, and the carpets are probably 30, 40 years old. The kitchen, she had started to remodel the kitchen, so there's no countertops on it. The kitchen fronts have no doors. So we're like,
So she's like mid-construction or whatever.
Mm-hmm. They took off molding around so I'm like, okay, we both said we can't sell it like this.
Right.
We'd give it away. And she has to live off that equity when she sells that. So basically, we have budgeted carpet, redoing the entire kitchen over, new cabinets, countertops, new flooring, new paint, taking the popcorn ceilings off. We have budget.
So this was an original condition house for the most part, with deferred maintenance, it sounds like.
Yeah. And then we've got power washing, window. Anyway, we have just kind of keeping it at $35,000 to $40,000, and she will definitely get her money out of it. So we had an investor that I think was interested previously, was going to offer $950,000 and then wanted $1,050,000. Our goal for her is to spend $35,000-$40,000 and get her at least 1.2 or 1.250.
That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think we'll get it because, when you walk in, and we're going to put all the new luxury vinyl floors, we got a price of $10,000 to do this 1,800 square foot house. That includes the baseboards.
I'm having a little bit of a light bulb moment as we're talking about this, as we sit under a bunch of light bulbs. Homeowners, I can just speak from my own personal experience. When I hire a contractor, it never goes well, I've noticed. Mm-hmm. And I'm emotionally attached to the project too, whereas you're outside of the emotional bubble, right? Not only that, you of course know what you're doing with the experience and multiple transactions, but like with me, like I'm going to be like, oh, this, I have a tendency to overspend. Okay, so I would botch that. That $35,000 would become $150,000 like that in an instant, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then it would completely defeat the purpose.
Right.
So I think the light bulb moment for me is realizing not only do you know what you're doing, you're able to be the neutral third party rather than the emotional reactive person like the homeowner who wants it a certain way and then ends up overspending, defeating the purpose of the benefit, right?
That's correct.
I think there's a lot there.
Oh yeah. No, I don't take them. It's all business for me. It's all business with those contractors.
I'm just going to hire you next time I need a bathroom remodel. The last one was a disaster.
Oh no. Yeah, no, I'm all business, and the contractors know, how they work well with me because they know they have to, because we try to keep them busy. But there's no emotional for me. It's all business. It's my client getting money back out.
That's incredible.
And
because $35,000 doesn't sound like it would move the needle much, but it sounds like when you're very specific with where you're applying those funds, it does make a difference.
Yeah, and I will tell you, having our design skills and
Right.
doing all this. When a buyer comes in and one of our listings and said, oh, that bathroom's going to cost me $40,000 to do. And I'm like, oh, no, it won't. And here's the cost.
Oh my God, it cost me $40,000 just so you know to do my bathroom.
No.
Oh, I should have talked to you, Diane.
Yeah, it's okay. Well, next time.
Yes.
But no, so it helps even on us selling a property if it hasn't been completely remodeled and somebody comes in and says, hey, I don't know if I want this house because it's going to cost me $200,000 to fix it up.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's not. And I will get the bids for them to sell that house.
Incredible.
I'll say, here's the bids to do that bathroom. Here's the bids to do the kitchen. These are the guys that we work with.
Yeah.
It isn't going to cost you that much.
Yeah.
So that does help our sellers selling even.
Help. This is fundamentally huge in my opinion, right? Because it's way more than, hey, look at our fancy flyers. This is how we're going to market your property. When you do it right, the house speaks for itself, it sounds like. Because again, back to the emotional response of people, somebody walks in an open house after it's done, it's got that curb appeal now, and now there's emotional connection. And when people are buying at least a primary residence, maybe not so much for investors, but people are buying a primary residence, it's all emotions. Right. So if they're looking at a house with drab carpet and popcorn ceilings and whatnot, it's not going to do the trick.
Correct. Yeah. That's exactly why we did, we're remodeling this house because.
And it's more than staging too, right?
Oh yeah. We do the staging too, of course.
Like that's just one piece of it.
Right. You got to have staging, and we put the more modern staging in now go with the trends, of course.
Yeah.
But I will have to tell you too, another story is, we had a client and we remodeled her house thinking that the house, she's going to list it next year. So all of a sudden this lady went kind of quiet on me and I'm like, this is weird.
This is after the work was done.
All the work was done. So completely done, ready for the market.
I see where this is going.
Yeah. And she calls. So I finally said, I think maybe I'll call her. And I go, hi, how are you doing? And she's like, and I'm like, okay, you don't want to sell the house now, right?
Yeah,
and she goes, no, we really like it now.
Oh my gosh.
And thank you for doing it. So my thing was to her, look, she appreciated my help and she said, if I know of anybody, I certainly refer to you as far as, buying or selling a home. So
that's actually really true, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. Because while you didn't get that transaction at the end of the day, you probably got a huge loyal advocate.
Yeah.
Right.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course. And if they ever do go sell, they will call me.
Let's talk about that. I think we missed a piece. You said that the first example, the client was cash poor, right, and house rich. Correct. Demographically here in Huntington Beach, at least in the surrounding markets, we are an aging society, right? And a lot of folks, one thing that has appreciated significantly is our homes. But if you're on a fixed income, not so much your cash flow. So how do you handle that though? Like when you've got somebody who's elderly that doesn't have the cash to do all this work, what do you do?
Well, first of all, we try and get them a loan, but a lot of times they don't qualify because they don't have the income. Right. So Christy and I go, okay, we're gonna fund this at 0% interest. My God. Because we do not want this particular client that we spoke about earlier. We don't want her to give the house away to an investor who's going to take that house and flip
advantage of it. Yeah.
When basically we're flipping the house for her at zero cost. Yeah. And she makes the money because she needs that money. I mean, she has to go. We're actually helping her get into a retirement community. She'll sell her house, buy cash for a house in a retirement community, and then she'll have money in the bank.
Yeah. So you get paid back once the sale closes.
It gets paid through escrow. Yeah. So it works for them and for us, but and we don't charge for that, by the way.
Well, you said 0% interest, and I was actually kind of surprised to hear that.
Yeah, we don't charge interest at all.
Incredible.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Where do I sign?
Yeah.
It really is significant because what I'm like, the way you're sharing this, I'm experiencing it as you are truly putting the client first.
Absolutely.
You're concerned about the human element of this.
Well, yes.
It's not just a transaction, right? Because ultimately another agent takes that listing, maybe stages it or cleans the carpet or something and sells it for something that would be, attractive to an investor.
Right.
And it got done, but did it really serve the client in the end?
Not really.
Right. It served the investor.
It did. Yeah. And we wanted to serve the client first over an investor.
Yeah.
That was the whole point, was to do this for her.
Yeah.
So, and she's going to be very happy at the end.
It's really beautiful.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's really beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So we've talked about that one. Any other examples you wanted to share before we move on?
No, I think we're good.
Cool.
I mean, I have a lot of examples, but it would take 5 hours. So I don't think we have the time today.
So school season has started. We're heading into the holiday season. What's your advice for folks who are thinking about selling in terms of like seasonality? Is now okay? Or do you recommend sometimes that they wait for a peak spring buying season? Like, what's your perspective as we enter into a different marketplace?
Honestly, I think it just depends on the individual and what they need. Some people need to move or want to be out of their house, now.
Maybe don't have a choice, right?
We don't have a choice. But, I feel like first of the year, January, February is a good time to list.
Yeah.
But honestly, I don't think I wouldn't really have a good answer for that because every situation is different.
So it's case by case.
Yes, because we have 2 listings coming up in, October, this house. And the way we have marketed the houses and staged the houses, they'll sell fast.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any particularly bad time to sell.
Okay. Yeah, that's good to hear. For buyers, any advice for buyers and how to best position yourself to get an offer accepted in a multiple offer situation?
Just keep yourself out of debt. Don't go out and get new. We have someone.
That's actually really good advice.
We have the young kids that go out and buy cars and do all this. And I'm like, you want to buy a house and you're getting yourself into debt.
Yes.
Pay your student loans off. Save your money. But I'll have to tell you an example of one of my twin daughters. She was, not buying a house, and she said, "Oh, the interest rate's really, really high." And I said, "No, you really need to buy a house where the interest rate is high because."
When was this?
It was December of 23. Okay.
Yeah.
So it was pretty high then. And I said, no, Danielle is one of the twins.
Yeah.
And I said, no, let's buy the house because you're not married to that interest rate.
Right.
You're married to that purchase price of the house.
Yeah.
So she got this house for $1,050,000 and right now it's worth over $1,250,000.
Wow.
We can sell it for. So
did you help her find a good value when you were purchasing, obviously?
Of course. Yeah. I was in a better bargaining position as the buyers are right now. And that's
true because I think interest rates were quite a bit higher then than they are today.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're seeing more buyers making offers now.
Yeah.
And hopefully the interest rate will go down. What's your thoughts on that?
Oh, yes. We're right on the cusp, Diane. We're so close.
I know.
This has been a long tunnel of higher for longer interest rate policy. But I really think that we're kind of on the cusp of the Fed restarting their interest rate cutting cycle. 10-year Treasury is at just about 4% even right now. And it wasn't too long ago, we were at 4.5% with like 7+% interest rates. Now we're at around 6.25%. That's significant.
A lot,
right?
A lot better. Yeah.
And the moment we see a 5 handle on an average 30-year fix, the market's going to come alive. I almost feel like this last quarter of the year is maybe a window of opportunity for people.
I agree.
Because if rates do start climbing down, right, and the spring market starts to heat back up,
right,
you know what that's going to mean.
Oh, I know. We've been telling our buyers, buy now, buy now. They're like, we're going to wait till that interest rate comes down. I go, well, you know what's going to happen?
Yeah, I know. It's counterintuitive because people want to wait for rates to drop before they buy.
Right.
But by that time, it's sort of too late. It's not that you can't still buy a house, but you're going to have a heck of a time doing it.
Oh, yes. We've, when the interest rates were down, we had maybe 10 offers on one house. And it's like, no. It just drives the price up, as we all know. But I always sell. And with sellers, too, they're like, well, the market's down right now. I said, yeah, but you're going to sell down and you're going to buy down.
Right.
Right?
Yes,
okay. You can't sell high and buy low. It's just
it doesn't
happening.
work that way.
But a lot of people think that. I was like, no.
There's a benefit to both.
It is. Yeah.
When you're selling high, that's great, but you are going to have a rough go of it trying to get into escrow on the next purchase. Yeah.
So
pick your poison, maybe.
That's exactly right. So that's why I say no, buy now because we've done a few offers in the last week, and there are more than one offers on that because people are seeing that the interest rate's going to come down.
So there's still multiple offers happening. Are you noticing though that there are more negotiations taking place where the seller is having to concede here and there on certain things?
Oh yes, definitely. And they're lowering their prices on the homes. So and then once they lower them, you'll see a couple, maybe 3 or 4 offers on that home.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what's happening. So we keep telling our buyers buy. You can refinance later.
Totally. Totally.
You know, you're going to pay more taxes. The more expensive the house is, more taxes. I mean, there's a whole thing to go. So we really sit down and have a talk with them before they.
Yeah. And just like we were talking about, like Diane and Chrissy being the unemotional professional for you, in the sense that like they're going to help you with your, if you're selling, they're going to help you with your optimizing the house to get top dollar. Mm-hmm. But also when it comes to actually buying a home or selling a home, on and beyond that, you need the unemotional professional opinion too, right? Because if we're left to our own devices making these decisions, or if we're talking to Uncle Bob or whoever, right, going on the internet and listening to real estate gurus on social media talk about housing crashes, which I don't know, you want to talk about whether or not the market's going to crash?
Oh, well, I'm going to tell you a story about my son-in-law. So he's probably not going to like this.
That's okay.
He is now my son-in-law. There is a condo for $949 down in San Juan Capistrano when, I don't know, it was like 2 years ago when they were looking to buy. And
San Juan's
Alex
so
says
beautiful
to me, oh, I know, it's gorgeous. Alex says the market's going to crash.
Yep.
And I go, no, I don't think so, Alec. You know, so
he was on Twitter too much.
I don't know what Alex
that's where you found all the doom.
I hope he doesn't kill me for
people.
telling the story, but yeah. So anyway, Brianna had gone back and looked at the same condo, and she goes, "Hey, Mom, guess what that condo's worth now?"
Oh no!
Yeah. And I go, "How much?" Well, because it was a first phase, it was a brand new development. She goes, 1,449.
Oh my gosh!
And I just said,
"Oh my gosh."
Okay.
Yeah.
So much for that crash.
Yeah.
What crash?
Well,
I don't see it.
And the thing is, like, real estate is local, is the old cliche. Mm-hmm. And I don't know that there's a much more desirable place in the United States of America to live. Obviously, there's other desirable places to live. I'm not disputing that. But coastal Orange County?
Yeah. I don't ever see that.
I don't really know that there's much better out there.
Right.
So like from a desirability standpoint, it's not like there's a ton of extra land. They can build a bunch of housing to, flood the market with inventory. We're pretty fixed on our inventory with maybe some slight growth there. Yeah. And then economically speaking, Orange County is pretty upper echelon, right?
Yeah.
Economically, we've got low job rate, relatively speaking, a low unemployment rate, I should say.
Right.
So you got to look at like more than just national headlines.
I know.
Right? If you're listening to Diana Olick on CNBC, who is a doomer when it comes to real estate,
right,
you're going to be viewing the real estate world through that lens and applying it to our marketplace, which is not applicable at all.
Yeah, I don't really.
People get really caught up in this. So it's like it's preventing them from moving on to the next stage of their life because it's all based upon fear and the media fanning those flames.
Yeah, I've been an investor for a long time.
I know you have. Yeah.
So, and I've not lost.
No.
Ever. So I tell people, look, you're not going to lose.
Yeah.
You're just not going to.
Yeah.
You just can't. I mean, to me, the best investment is real estate.
Well, I've heard you tell me on the phone before with certain buyers is we showed them a house, but we're not making an offer on that house. There's no way. Right. Because it also matters what you buy.
Right. Of course.
Mm-hmm. Yes, real estate is local, but that doesn't necessarily mean any house is a good investment.
Oh, right. And we'll tell them. I flat out tell them.
Yeah. Don't buy. And here's why.
I actually had a client say, what kind of realtor are you that tells me not to buy a home? I go, it's just not a good investment. Yeah. And our clients will tell you that. If we don't feel like it's a good investment, we will tell them.
Yeah.
If you're overpaying, we're going to tell you.
Yeah.
But we cannot control the market when you have multiple offers, situation. So we tell them, you're going to have to pay over if you have multiple offers when the interest rate goes down. But it comes back, but people that did buy, there for a while, people that bought high during the low interest rates, they have to sit in their houses for a little bit to get that money back.
Yeah. So. Well, time in real estate is the key. Right. Time heals all, even if it wasn't the best possible timing, and trying to time the market is kind of an impossible game. Sure, you might get lucky.
Right.
But I think a lot of people, do you have any idea the mix in your clientele in terms of primary residence buyers versus investors, roughly speaking?
Mostly primary buyers.
Mostly primary, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like my point is people who are buying their primary residence, they get so in their, the way I experience a lot of folks with all the information that we have available to us, good and bad, is there's overstimulation, there's paralysis by analysis, right? And they forget that your primary residence is way more than just a financial instrument, right?
Exactly.
You do have to live there. You're making your memories there with your family, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Super Bowl Sundays, hanging Christmas lights, like, the door jam with the height of your children. This is a home. You're making memories in it. So like, if you're not super stoked on the timing, well, guess what? You're going to be there, let's call it, for the next 10 years. Don't forget about the tax deduction benefit, right? Every month you make a 30-year fixed payment. There's principal reduction, home price appreciation over time.
Well, that's true. We tell clients if they're in a multiple offer situation, is that going to be your long-term home, or are you going to keep it for 2 years? Because there is a difference.
Totally. 2 years. If you know you're out, don't do it.
And we'll tell them flat out. So, we'll say if you're going to stay in that a long time and there is a multiple offer situation, then it's fine. You're going to get your money back on that house, and you're going to probably be in that house for a long time. If someone's going to buy something for 2 years and then move on, it depends on the situation at that time, how we would advise them. So,
Well, as you can tell, who you hire matters. And I always feel really calm when I'm talking to you. You have a very calm demeanor.
Oh, thank you.
And I think that's really important in real estate, because I think some realtors with bombastic personalities can really add fuel to the fire, and not in a good way, right? Because transactions can be difficult. Things do come up. And I think it's important how you show up, and calm, cool, and collected with the foundation of professionalism and integrity. That's what I'm experiencing here.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm pretty calm. But I'm pretty firm for my clients. They kind of know, in a nice way. Christy and I are very firm, but in a nice way.
I've always been super grateful for your support, by the way.
Oh, thank you,
It's so funny, right? I have to tell the story because I've known Diane since I was a kid, and my vivid memories are, like I've shared with you before, of me sitting in your Cadillac Escalade with your son, going Costco shopping and then to McDonald's drive-thru.
Oh, yeah. I forgot taking you to Costco.
Yeah. You're sort of a second mom to me. Like I said, there's some context for people to understand why that is. That was the only Costco over there is by Calvary Chapel. I remember. That's right. So we didn't have a Costco at Bellaterra. So I had to do that errand before I got, so you had to go on the errand. And then I remember the McDonald's right across in the scroll too. So I got it. See, it's all coming back.
It is. Yeah.
Well, I've always appreciated that. And I know that your support comes from a really cool place, because, you made the comment you want to help put my kids through college. And that means a lot to me, just so you know. So I just want to acknowledge that in this space and say thank you.
You mean a lot to me too.
Yeah.
You're a good kid.
Thank you so much, Diane.
Thank you.
Anything else you want to give, any parting wisdom?
I think we've hit it all.
Cool. Nice work. Thank you, everybody. Hope you found value in this. As always, if you liked it, I'm sure you did. Why wouldn't you? Like and subscribe. All right.
Thank you.
Talk to you later.
Bye. I'm not great on, you're more.